Are you on the move? If you're planning to grow your business, move from a small, modest facility to a larger, nice office, it's a complex task, especially if you're trying to run your business on a daily basis, keep things rolling forward, and plan a whole new vision about how your business is going to be and look and how you're going to inhabit it and build it out and so on just a few weeks or months down the road. It's not an easy thing to do. That's why I'm excited to introduce you today to Chris Willem. This is NxBizSuccess. My name is Lynn Hinderaker, and Chris Willem runs a company in Omaha, Nebraska called Core Technologies. He's a technology guru. He's just managed a very complicated expansion, a physical move from one smaller office to another one. Thanks for showing up on NxBizSuccess, Chris.
Thanks, Lynn.
Great job, man. Hey, I love your new facility. Tell me, first of all, how big did it get? Did you double it, or what was the deal?
We're about double the size that we were, a little over double. We went from 3,000 square feet to 6,500 for our 14 employees right now. We wanted to make sure that we had some space to be able to grow and add people as we do grow here over the next few years.
You're obviously a future-oriented kind of visionary guy, right?
Absolutely. We definitely don't want to take the roller coaster ride of the ups and downs, so we want slow managed growth, but we definitely want to grow.
Well, I know that you run a very busy business and you had a lot of things going on. How did you just sit down and figure out how to expand and how to grow the business and end up here in particular? Was there a plan, or did it just unfold?
Really it was a matter of we couldn't take the pain of being in the other spot anymore. We were sitting in each other's laps, basically. We were sharing workspaces, and it just was becoming too much of a hindrance to our day-to-day activities. It was hurting productivity very much.
Okay.
So we engaged a real estate agent to help us find a place, which was number one.
Had to find that.
The best thing is in my opinion, one of the best things we did was find good partners to use during the entire search and move process.
Well, why don't you go through what kind of partners are we talking about?
Partners, first one was we found a good real estate agent. It was somebody that I knew from a networking group that I was in. Okay. He helped us identify space that fit our needs. We didn't go to a lot of different buildings that were too expensive for us or too large for us. He was able to hone in on the space that was available. In this market, there's a lot of space out there, so you need somebody that can really have that kind of laser-pointed perspective for you to say, these are the spaces that fit your needs.
Okay, so you got a real estate partner, and then what was next?
Number one. Next thing was working through the actual finding a space that fit for you. Yeah. Think outside the box a little bit. This was not the type of space that we were looking at. It was done and built out very differently than our original space, but it was very nice. The more we felt about it, or the more we looked at it, we felt that it was going to help us move the culture of our organization the way that we want. It's incredible to think how different the company and your people can be just by changing the facility a little bit. Now, adding light, opening it up, it's one of those things that a business owner doesn't typically think about, but it really can help. The attitude changes quite a bit depending on the environment and surroundings that you're in.
Wow, we could talk for hours about the correlation between culture and physical environment.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. Now, it sounds like you kind of honed in through the help of your real estate partner on this particular space quickly, or did you go around and look at some other things?
We probably looked at about a dozen different spaces, but then we honed in on this one and tried to do a deal and work through very quickly that process of it. Of course, you engage attorneys in that process, and that always stretches everything out time-wise. But if you're going to sign a lease for long-term, you need to make sure you have somebody review that for you. So that's number 2 step in the process, is to find somebody. Doesn't need to be a terribly extended process or expensive proposition, but find an attorney or legal reference you can use to go through the lease with you.
Okay, good. So you got your real estate person, you've got the process, the attorney. Who else did you have to engage to delegate out and get this thing going?
You start talking about getting the facility ready for you, so you're going to have some sort of build out generally, or preparation. Okay. A lot of times that's handled by the landlord or the building owner. It's better to have it done that way if you can.
Is it negotiable then?
It's very negotiable.
Okay.
If you can get them to include some of the build out or all of the build out as part of the lease agreement, that's great. It's easier for your accounting structure for you to account for the expenditures.
All right.
But it's also not cash out of your pocket, so you don't have to engage your banking relationship so much.
So there's some trade-offs there.
No trade-offs there. And then it's a matter of saying, okay, what am I going to do technology-wise or communications-wise in the new facility, because I need phone systems potentially, I need computer systems, I need internet access, I need signage as a piece we hadn't even really thought about, but that's a big portion of it. What am I going to do to actually, fill the space up with furniture? Yeah. We moved from a place where we didn't bring much of the furniture over because a lot of the stuff we did here was built in. Yeah. So that was nice. But those are all things, especially when you're talking budget, that can really throw it one way or another.
Now let me ask you this. If you take a look at your budget and a spreadsheet and you originally planned X number of dollars for the rent and the size, the per square foot, all that stuff. Can you give me a sense of the ratios? I mean, for instance, the signage or did the build out add another 30 or 40% onto the square footage estimates, or maybe not that much? Or
it really varies in the level of space that you're looking at and what's available. What we've been told is that depending on the market that you're in, the geography and the
Sure.
type of space, you can expect to get a certain dollars per square foot available to you for build out. There's kind of a standard that they're working with.
So like a formula there.
Exactly. Ours ended up being, if we look at what we're paying for the build out on top of our rent, it's probably about 20%.
Okay.
20-25%.
Good. I mean, that's a helpful number to kind of think as you go into the planning a little bit. Then how long did it take to physically orchestrate the move? Obviously, you hired some movers and a truck and all that. And I mean, take a week or so to kind of get everything in their place, or how did that go?
When we actually were ready to move after about a 3-month period for build out and construction and getting the facility up to speed, we got the movers in on a Friday, and we basically shut down our previous office late Friday afternoon. We got everything up and running at our new space Saturday morning.
It went that quickly?
We were working on Monday. We spent a lot of time in the previous 2 weeks, though, coming in here and getting the facility ready for us.
Getting it prepped.
Getting it prepped. For us, being a technology company, that means there were a lot of wires we needed to get in place, a lot of equipment that needed to be moved in. We were lucky enough that we were able to purchase a lot of that new and have it ready sitting here for us. So we were able to prep that to where we came in. Literally, I put my laptop on my desk, plugged in, and I was moved in and ready to go.
Chris, as you organized it internally, did you have a moving committee, or was there an internal champion that was responsible for coming to you and saying, hey, we need to make this decision and get in here? Or were you the champion in terms of making this move?
We actually had the luxury of having an outside person help us with coordinating our move.
Okay.
I had a very close friend who was in between jobs at the time, and she was able to help us on a part-time basis to work with our contractor, work with all of our vendors, so our furniture people, our painters, our signage. She orchestrated all of that for me. But for 3 months, that was a part-time job. So it took a huge amount of time. Plus, I was still very involved because I'm the final decision maker on everything. So
absolutely.
You can't underestimate how much time it is going to take. It is going to take a ton of time through that process. It's very much worthwhile.
Yeah. But
expect that you're going to be needing to do your full-time job plus some on top.
It's a little distracting from your core business, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Chris Villan with Core Technologies in Southwest Omaha, Nebraska, I appreciate your advice. I mean, I love these nuts and bolts. So many people are saying, hey, you know, it's a recession. We can take advantage of some lower costs. Absolutely. Get into a building we couldn't have afforded before. And I know that they're going to depend upon the tips that you've shared with me. So great. I appreciate that very much. This is NxBizSuccess. My name is Lynn Hinderrocker. We've learned how to make the move. Now I'm challenging you to go ahead and make your move. Keep going, keep growing.